so we can start. I will repeat it. I will repeat this introduction. So sorry for little delay. It is caused by myself because I didn't start the meeting. However, now we are fully online, and I would like to welcome you here on today's very last webinar of the series. We are going to talk about the topic of technical delegates role, referees role, and in the end, there will be discussion about the boccia history, current trends, and the future. I would like to tell you that the webinar will be recorded, and also all webinars from the past were recorded. So if you would be interested in any topic, you can watch it in the future. About the project, we have 6 partners, so we are really thankful that we can cooperate on educational and let's say growing field of this boccia, of this kind of sport. And the goal of the project is to raise awareness and possibilities in a boccia in all partners countries. The project is co-funded by Erasmus Plus platform from European Union, and I think that now we can start. So recording is live. First speaker is ready. It's gonna be Michalina Kaproviak. Sorry if Kasproviak, if the surname was told wrong by myself, but you will correct it in a few seconds. And Michalina will tell you a lot about the role of technical delegate during the tournaments and meetings, and some of her experiences at the CETRA. So I'm giving her a word.
Thank you, Wojtek, to telling people who am I. So once again, my name is Michalina Kasprowiak. I'm working right now for Polish Boccia Association, and few years ago I received opportunity to start the technical delegate course organized by BISFET, and right now I am the technical delegate of World Boccia, and I would like to show you some detail about this work. So first of all, I would like to tell in general something about technical delegate in different sports. So who is this person? Actually, technical delegate is the person responsible for the proper conduct of the competition in accordance with the rules and the applicable guidelines. His or her responsibility is to check in detail the competition venue along with competition facilities and availability of places and conditions for people with wheelchairs, with disabilities. The TD have to check the plan of conducting the competition, which is prepared by organizers, and division of duties in the management team. So he needs to know who is who in the host organizing committee, what is the structures of their work. He need to check and approve the branding, medal project, accreditation, officials, uniform project. And he's responsible for prepare the competition schedule and all event schedules applicable during the event. He is deciding on changes to the plan if it's necessary. So in an emergency, he needs to change the schedules, the plan according to the situation which appears. And he is approving every detail of the event if it's possible. And right now, I would like to tell you something more about the World Boccia Technical Delegate. So it is a personal representative of the World Boccia, and at each sanctioned event, we've got one PD. He is responsible for ensuring that the competition is conducted in accordance with the World Boccia documents. And here I show you the 4 most important documents for technical delegate, which is the World Boccia Sports Technical Manual, World Boccia Competition Pathway, World Boccia Competitions Anti-Doping Procedures, and World Boccia Protocol for opening and closing ceremonies. But I think that the knowledge of technical delegate really should be a little bit wider. He needs to know the rules and something more about classification process. So, but that's the main 4 documents that he is working with. The WordBoccia technical delegate is also responsible for the site inspection prior the competition, and usually this kind of inspection visits take place 4 months before the competition, if it's possible. And it's charged with the duty of writing a post-event report to ensure the WordBoccia competition can continually develop and improve. And right now, I would like to present you some small characteristic of technical delegate. So the technical delegate should have a good understanding of written and spoken English, knowledge of WordBoccia documents and rules, and experience with Boccia, especially in organizing competitions, and knowledge of the needs of people with disabilities. The other thing is that mostly talk about the personality of technical delegate is that the person should be responsible, persistent, sociable, has ability to work with people, and is able to work under pressure, is consistent but flexible, thinking outside the box and take up the challenge, and has the ability to solve the problems, and ability to react quickly in any case if any situation will take place. So in this few points, I would like to say that you are working, and every time it's not about having problems or something. I'm usually talking that we've got some challenges during competition, and we really need to take care that every your decision is according to the documents, and that you are taking care of the athletes and about playing fair play. And now I would like to present who is the assistant technical delegate, because this role appeared, I think, few years ago. And right now, the assistant of technical delegate has got tasks different than it was, I think, 5 years ago. So right now, assistant technical delegate is the person responsible for the proper operation of the system BCMS, has knowledge of the competition and ranking manual, is responsible for making a draw during technical meeting, and also responsible for preparing the system before every line of the matches. Assistant technical delegate is also responsible for solving situation when needed. So if there is some situation with the computer or the connection, he also is working with TD and IT manager to fix the situation and to come back to the normal timetable of the match. And he has work with and supports the technical delegate. Right now, I would like to show you how it all begins. So firstly, the technical delegate is receiving the invitation from WordBoccia, and I have got a few days to confirm availability in the term of events. If I will agree for this event, I will receive the information about host organizing committee, and I will prepare the first video call with them. So the first video call with host organizing committee is actually to get know each other and start a little bit conversation about tasks that are involved in organization competitions. And then I'm working with the HOC with preparing the event information guide. I mean, HOC prepared the event information guide, but they need to include all the things like event data and provisional schedule, information about registration, venue and hotel, and some more information about staff, like who is the competition manager, who is the event director, and transport manager, and some more. We have got the information about the transport, like a road from airport, from the hotel to the venue. We also should include information about visa application, insurance, and some more. And all information that we can find in event information guide must be approved by a technical delegate. And after that, we can send it directly to the countries. And time before the event, I think that it is the time when TD is collecting information about the knowledge and experience of HOC in organizing events. And we are all the time checking the preparations and need to check if it goes with all World Boccia regulations and contract which was signed between the World Boccia and HOC. And right now, I would like to say something about competition pathway. It is one of the most important documents that the technical delegate is working with. So the competition pathway contests some information about competitions, about the bidding, if someone wants to organize this sanctioned event competition, and contracts about competition entries, technical officials, about all technical regulations, doping control and medical support, about disciplinary regulations and procedures, ceremonies, competitions results and world ranking, post-competition report and evaluation, administration and logistics, media and publicity, and technical official training courses. So that's what is in the competition pathway. But I think that technical delegate is also working with some more documents like BISFET International Boccia Rules, also the BISFET protocol for opening and closing ceremonies, which show you exactly who is first to present the medal, and with BISFET competitions anti-doping procedures, and with BISFET World Boccia brand guidelines. And I would like to say here that all these documents are right now, they are current, but I think that in next few days, maybe weeks, we will have got the updated version, which will be current for 2025 to 2028. In competition and ranking manual in general, it shows us the competition system, competition types, and competition entry process. It talks also about competition rules about the pool stage and elimination stage. So about how we are placing the athletes according to the ranking, and about world ranking. And right now, I would like to tell you something more about inspection visit and also all the things that should be approval by a technical delegate. So what needs to be checked and approved by a technical delegate? In general, it should be all guides, all handbooks, plans, for example, transport plan, and all designs like logo of this event, medal project, accreditation project, big numbers, so the numbers that identify the athletes, officials uniform, a project of each product with World Boccia logo. And you need to approve the branding and marketing plan, need to approve the schedules which are prepared by HOC, like transport schedule, meals, opening time of InfoDesk, and need to approve the management. I mean, you need to know who is the competition manager, who is the call room manager, volunteers manager, information and services manager, and technical operations manager, and also PR manager. And during inspection visits, you need to check and approve the venue. So first, we are taking a look at the field of play. We can take a look, think about court layout And we need also to check the conditions of the floor, if it's okay to play boccia. We can think about the spectators area and flags and banners, and it's also very important when we will come to the competition to be sure that the flags and banners, that every flag is in correct side and it's not upside down, because you can change the country, and and you have to take a look about all the place in general on the venue. Sometimes the HOC is ready to show you where they have got planned to put the information desk, to have the equipment storage, rooms for officials, anti-doping room, classification area, equipment check area, warm-up course, dining area, and locker rooms if possible. But sometimes they don't know, even if there's first time, that they don't know where to put, and that's your decision where to organize our areas. And you can check the Wi-Fi to be sure that the athletes, the participants, will have the connection, the internet connection. You have to check the accessibility for people with disabilities, so all the lifts, toilets, and also the distance that they have to go. So you have to be sure that the warm up is close to the equipment storage or to the cold room, and at the end I would like to say something, that you have to have got the safety plan, and it's really important, because in any emergency, to know what is the plan in any case, because it's very important, especially if you are organizing the competition for people with disabilities. And inspection visits in the hotel. So we have to check the hotel standard and capacity, the number of floors, number and capacity of lifts, and accessibility for people with disabilities. So like number of fully accessible rooms, accessibility in standard room, like door width, if they can enter with their wheelchair, a bathroom like shower size, because it shows you if you will be able to use the shower chair or not. Bed height, because you have to check the space under the bed to know if they can use the medical lift, which is very important for BC3 players especially. And as the same situation at the hotel, that we have to go the safety plan. Once again, I would like to say that it's very important, because we are organizing the competition for people with disabilities. And in case of emergency, usually we can use only the staircase. So it's very important to see this plan and to approve it by TD. Initial application, first entry. Why it is important for technical delegate? From first entry, you can reach some informations about number of countries which will participate in this event, and number of athletes, especially in every category. So you know how many athletes you've got in individual competition, and also in teams and pairs. And you can start to think about court layouts according to number of matches, number of athletes, and you are creating the professional schedule. But this schedule actually is the really first one, and really kind of draft for yourself, because you can decide if there's still spaces to invite some athletes from the waiting list, or the time table is too tight and you cannot add more. And the final application, final entry, that's the information for technical delegate about the final number of countries, final number of athletes, and entries by name, time of their arrival, and their classification status. And that's from this time you can start once again to take a look at the competition schedule and prepare the provisional competition schedule. And you have to start working with classification schedule, training schedule, and equipment check schedule. And it is very important to start in this order, because this three, when you are preparing this three, you have to take a look, and one country cannot be in two places at the same time. So usually, especially on the challengers, when you have got some new players, some players that need to be reviewed, you start with classification schedule, and you are cooperating with the chief classifier to check the status of the athletes. And then you can start with training schedule. It is also your decision if they can have a good training for 1.5 hour or 2. It's all up to the number of countries. And in some situation, we also have to use the warm-up area for the training. Equipment check schedule, I think that is the easiest one to change. That's why this order is very important. And when you have got the entries by name, you can also check the ranking position of the athletes, and you will find information which athlete is new actually, and which doesn't have got any ranking position. And here is the provisional schedule for the competition. So, but it's always a provisional one, because we still are doing the classification process, and sometimes we can receive the information about changes in classification, and that time it may be we had to change the schedule because of these changes. Once again, I will come back to the schedule. I would like to say that we are trying not to put more than 3 matches in every sport class if possible. And usually I'm trying not to put the BC3 as the first round, because we all know that BC3 needs some more time during the morning to prepare, and that's why. Schedules. So here we can see the kind of training schedule, classification schedule, and equipment check. And also the training schedule, you have to, when you have got in the one country, you have got from 1 to 3 athletes, you can give them all on the one court. If you've got some more from 4 to 7, like here we can see, they will receive 2 courts. And let's say that if they have got 8 athletes to 10, like Hong Kong on this picture, they have got 3 courts on the field of play. Anti-doping. It is also important for technical delegates because the respective World Boccia technical delegate in the World Boccia license on the day of testing and responsible for arrangement with the host organizing committee regarding doping procedures. We have got 2 anti-doping tests out of competition, so it means we've got it during the training days, and 4 in the competition, which is on the last day of individual competition. So all procedures, you can see all procedures here, but we also always are checking if the procedures are current according to WADA needs and World Boccia. And now I would like to take you for some small journey during the Boccia event. So first and second day, when technical delegate is on place, it's actually 2 days before the event starts. It's the time of monitoring of all preparations. You're checking the venue, the hotel officials' arrival, team's arrival, BIPs, numbers, project once again, and medals, T-shirts, and accreditations. And the person that technical delegate is working probably most of the time is the competition manager, which is the representative of host organizing committee. And competition manager also needs to know what's the situation right now. He is in cooperating with the transport manager, with the volunteers manager, and he should give the information to technical delegate about all the situation if in case of any emergency delays, etc. Day 3, so it's the team's arrival. It's the first day of events. So we are starting with the classification, trainings on the field of play, and all the warm-up course if it's needed. We have to take a look at the plan of the opening ceremony, which is usually on the second day of the event or on the third day, but before all the matches. We are still monitoring the preparations, and we are solving the last-minute issues with the transport in the partnership with HOC, I mean, especially with competition manager and transport manager. Day 4, it's the second day of event, but I think it's the one of the most important day because we still have got classification, after which we will receive the final results. We've got still training on the field of play and warm-up course if needed. We've got equipment check, officials and volunteers meetings. I'm not talking only about volunteers meetings with volunteer manager, but also with you as a TDA. It's very important to know that to let know to the people that they are very important during the competition, and I cannot imagine the work without volunteers actually. So I'm really glad that we've got them, and you have to let them know about it. Anti-doping test. We've got also opening ceremony. I said usually because, as I said, we can also have got the opening ceremony on the third day of the event before all the matches. We've got at the end, we've got technical meeting with team managers. And from technical delegate view, we have to tell about the changes in classification. I mean, it's the discussion about these changes also with the chief of classifier. We are showing the placement in polls by ranking positions, and they are making a draw for non-ranked players or the players that receive the different sport class. And we are presenting the final placement in polls. Then we are checking the kids' colors, so it means the color of the t-shirt, trousers of countries, because it may appear the situation that two countries which will play in the same pool, we have got the same color, so the athlete that is higher ranked, he can stay with the color, but the second athlete need to change it. We are preparing the bib numbers because we already know all numbers for the athletes. We are talking about important information like transport schedules. Usually in the transport schedule, we are talking that the first transport, the first bus is for athletes that are playing in the first round of the matches. We are talking about warm-up schedule, about meal schedule. We also have to take care that all the athletes will have got opportunity to eat, not to be on warm-up area or during their match. So it have to be a really good plan. And we are talking about official clocks because sometimes at the venues there's some big clock on the walls. So we have to underline which one is the official official clock for entering the call room and starting matches. And we are talking about competition schedule, that we may have some changes during the live streaming, because we're in World Boccia competition, we've got the live streaming. So let's say that we have got the live streaming on court number 1. So usually in every round we made some changes, that on court number 1 we would like to have as much countries as it's possible, and as much also the categories of Boccia. And we've got also discussions about the rules and classification. So if head referee have got something to say about changes in the rules, or the chief classifier about changes in classification, they're talking about this during this technical meeting. And Boccia event, day 5 to 7 for technical delegate, but actually 3rd to 5th day of the event. It's the time of the individual competition. So in the morning, we're checking all areas. We are checking if we've got our markings like official clock. And we are checking the call room if it's opening and closing on time. Where the VCMS, we have to be sure that the system works correctly. And we are organizing the competition according to the schedule. So we are really look at the clock to be every time on time. And warm-up course, we have to be sure that some volunteers are there. So that's why I wrote also that cooperation with on these days it's very important to have good cooperation with competition manager, volunteers, and transport. And once again, I would like to tell something about volunteers, because they need to be really in many places. So this is the biggest role of volunteers manager, to take care, to have good volunteers on the warm-up courts, in equipment storage, nearby to the information desk, but also in the call room, as we need some pushers. And some volunteers, I guess they are the timekeepers, so they have to be on time, not to have any delays for matches. In Boccia events, day 8 is the final day of individual competition. So we have to take a look once again if competition goes according to the schedule. We have got some anti-doping tests, and we are organizing the technical meeting for teams and pairs competition. So we can also during this meeting confirm the athletes list for all teams and pairs. We've got also the medal ceremony. So before, we have to check the plan of ceremony, the presentation of athletes, the anthems and flags, and medalist waiting area. The flags and the anthems, the presentation is checked also one day before, because for the anthems, I know that we've got different versions, and usually we are asking the team manager to confirm the correct one. And also the flags, we have to know what kind of presentation of the medalists the HOC would like to have got in the plan. And we are confirming the medalists before announcement. So after competition in every sport class, we are checking and giving the information to the competition manager. And at the end of this day, we've got the areas modifications, like court layouts, because sometimes we've got a less number of the teams and pairs, and we can decide to not to have got 8 courts, but let's say 6 courts. And we are changing the call room the same way, and equipment storage if it's needed. And also the spectators area. If you will decide that the course layout will be changed and you will use only 6 courts, it's nice to make spectators area a little bit wider if it's possible, of course. And I would like to say also that during individual competition, let's say on the 4th and 5th day of the competition, if everything goes according to the schedule, it is really nice time to speak with team managers, to ask some questions about this competition, what they like, what they would like to improve, because we can give this feedback to the World Boccia and they can put some improvement. And day 9 and 10 of TD work. So it's the 7th and 8th day of the event, the teams and pairs competition. So we also care about competition to go according to the schedule. And on the 10th day, it's the medal and closing ceremony. So we are checking the plan of the ceremony. Once again, the presentation, the anthems, flags, and the medals waiting area, because it needs to be a little bit bigger for teams and pairs. And we are confirming the medals before announcement. Day 11 is the day of the departure. And after event, so we have got 1 month to prepare the technical delegate report. And last but not least, what is very important, in my opinion, is also to, once again, to have got the safety plan, because we are organizing the competition for people with disability, and you have to know that you are responsible for them. Development, it is very important to improve with all the competition and to take care about boccia as a sport, to make it wider and better to know. The most important is cooperation with people. I think this is also the best one, because you have to know people that they are very important, like volunteers, like officials, national referees, and all the people. So that's so good to have got the good relationship and to show them that they are important for this event and for boccia. Protest panel. In any case, in any emergency situation, technical delegate is one of the participants of the protest panel and needs to make the final decision about some issue that is talking about. And the last, they all have to know that this competition is also for fun. And boccia is for fun. People can meet them, people make friends, and are playing boccia, which is very good sport, I think. And at the end, I would like to say that for me, the main goal is that we are organizing an event for boccia athletes. So for me, it's very important that people with disabilities can take part in sports. And usually I'm looking at this one and thinking that I'm doing all the best for them. And if you would like to find some more information, I can tell you about worldboccia.com website, and I think you will find all information there. If you have got any questions for me, please contact me. And that's all. Thank you so much for your attention.
So thank you again for the word. The topic I'll be talking about today is a referee pathway, or let's say where to find referees and how to educate them. Why me? Why is it me talking to you about this? I will try to introduce myself very briefly. As you know, my name is Martina, and I did my national referee course in 2006. So I'm a national referee as well. It was a long time ago. After that, I did my international referee course in 2011. So since then, I've been an international referee for World Boccia. I've been educating national referees for over 10 years, and I've been involved with boccia for more than half of my life, which makes it, for me, a very long time. Very recently, we did a referee course in Slovakia. We dealt with some problems previously. We had few referees. They were not educated well. We had a lot of family members, and we have very few referees that signed up for competitions. 2 years ago, we were supposed to hold a referee course, and we did not, because we have only 2 referees that signed up for the course. So this year we looked at it a little bit differently. We had a course about a month ago, and we had 18 people that signed up for the course. So what did we do differently this year, and how did we end up with 18 people joining the course and becoming a national referee? And that's the thing I will talk to you about today. I will try to look at the problems, not as a problems, but as solutions. I think it's John Lennon who said this, but either way, it was one of my international friends, also a referee, an educator, that told me that there are no problems in boccia, there are just solutions. And this is how would I want to look at the things that I will talk to you about today. In Slovakia, as I told you, we also deal with situation. We had problems at different stages. Boccia is developing as a sport. So 15 years ago, when I started boccia, it was totally different than it's now. And also in different countries, the situations are very different. So I will try to look at the things also from different perspectives, but I will try to share my knowledge, how we ended up where we are now, and I will try to share with you some useful tips and tricks and maybe some tools that were helpful for us. As I said, we need to keep in mind that we all have different backgrounds and starting points in boccia. In some countries, boccia is just developing. Some countries have boccia on a very high level. Somewhere there is more money involved than in other countries. And also some countries are bigger and some are smaller. So for example, for us in Slovakia, it's easier to organize one referee course per year because we can have all the referees from all the country there, because Slovakia is fairly small. Where Poland is a bigger country, or other countries are bigger than Slovakia, so it might be harder for them to organize just one course per year. I will try to divide the things I will be talking to you about today into 4 main topics. First topic will be how and where to find referees. Second, how to educate them. Third, how to maintain the referees. And 4, how to grow. The thing I want to say is that if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them throughout the presentation. I don't mind interrupting. So Vojta, if somebody is asking something in the comments, I don't see them now. But if you can just please feel free to join in and ask the questions. Or at the end, I'll be available. So the first part is how and where to find the referees. Where? This is one of my favorite parts, because at the beginning of the course, you have nobody. You don't know who is going to sign up, and you don't know how many people are going to join. It's usually me in Slovakia who is organizing the referee courses. So I tried different tactics in previous years, and this year I looked at it totally differently. I looked around and I was trying to think outside of the box. Previous years, I waited. We published a document or article on our website called boccia.sk, and we're waiting for the referees to sign up, or the volunteers or the people who were wanting to join the course. But this never happened. Nobody signed up, or very few people, because nobody knew about the article on the website. So to find referees, it requires an action from your side. We found very helpful that we use a lot of friends and family. The easiest for you to find people for the referee course is to look for people who already know what boccia is, what kind of sport it is. It's very hard to explain to people what boccia is and ask them to be a referee. So we usually look for people who are already have some knowledge of the sport. Somebody who is a friend or a family member. Usually the family members are already at the competition because they go with the players, which is very helpful. When they don't have to assist the players, then they can be a referee. So we usually ask the families and friends of boccia to join the course, or we ask them to share the information about the course. We also look at the players as influencers. We all know influencers that influence some products. They're trying to sell products online. We are all on social media. We have Instagrams and Facebooks, and there's people talking about products. So we try to work around this and somehow use those people for boccia. So we look at the players that we have. There are international players. They're in the representation. They are famous in those fields. So we ask them to share the information about the course. We ask them to share information about boccia in general. So people who they are following, or the people that are following our players, they can see that there is a course. They see it online, which makes it perfect. They can sign up. Also, referees that we usually have, they post stuff from the competitions they are refereeing at. So people, their friends, they see that they are doing this kind of thing. It may be interesting for them. So we use also those people and we ask them to become referees. When we are done with friends and family, then we look at clubs and federations. This is also a very good source of referees in general. In Slovakia, clubs not only supply players, but they also educate referees. There is also people in the clubs. There are volunteers, players. There are also people from other sports in the clubs that maybe want to be a referee. So we also ask the clubs to send out referees to the courses, or to educate them. And this is one thing we did this year differently, and I really enjoyed the process of this, is volunteers. When we were organizing the course, I thought there have been volunteers throughout the years. We have a database of nearly 100 volunteers that previously been at the competition, that helped. They were timers or they did other volunteer work. And we have never asked them to become a referee. And those people are perfect to be a referee because, as I said, they already know the sport and they are somehow interested in it. So I messaged to the volunteers. I did a direct message campaign, email campaign, when I directly asked them that, oh, you know boccia, you already worked as a volunteer. There is a special occasion now, and we are organizing a course for referees. Would you want to join? And we had a very good turnout from that. There was about five volunteers from previous years that signed up for the course, and also there were people that couldn't join because of the date, so they signed up for the next course. So it was very good turnout for the volunteers. And also we work with universities and high schools. We are trying to. We work with the university that educates people in sports or special education, and we ask them to email to those students about the course. We also had some people joining from them. So these are very good sources. I'm sure there is many more. So you just need to look around and think of people who already know the sport or who can be interested in the sport. We never used money to search for referees. I believe there is also a way of doing that, to use social media as for looking for searching for referees and pay advertisement. But we never did that. We actually looked directly to the referees where we know where they should be. So how our question is how to find them. We are not only looking for the referees before the course, we are looking for the referees throughout the year. So this is one thing that is very helpful for me, at least. I built a sign-up form for the referees that throughout the year, or the people that are interested in the course throughout the year. I don't have to keep them in mind that, oh, that person was interested in the course. I asked them to sign up for into our sign-up form, and I'm building a database of people who are actually interested in doing the course. So once we know the date of the course, as I said, we are having a course once a year. So once we know the date of the course, we send an email to all the people that signed up that, oh, hi, there is a course there's going to be a course on this date. If you want to join, please feel free to join in. So again, we are using it directly. We are talking directly to the people who already know the sport or are interested in the course. So this is during the year, but before the course, we send newsletters to the clubs, to the players, to the referees. We use social media. We have graphics for the social media. We share. We don't share them only on our official channels as Facebook and Instagram, but we also ask players to share them on their social media and their channels. They usually have a very good following of people interested in the sport. So we usually use those players and we send them those graphics. And we, as I said, we also use the direct emails, for example, for those volunteers or the people from the database we built during the year. Some tools that maybe can help you. We usually use tools that are for free. So we are working a lot from Google tools. We use Google Form for the sign up. For the course, we have all the information at one place, which makes it easier for us. We use newsletters, for example, MailChimp, also free. We have graphics to share on social media. You can use Canva, which is a very nice tool for graphics. And we use emails as a direct mailing campaign. Okay. So now when you know where to find referees or how to find them, you need to know how to educate them. And this is the fun part, when you already know with who you are working with. So I will start at the offline courses. That for me, they're much more fun to have offline course because you have a lot of much better contact with the referees. You can show them all the practical things. We usually have two players asked to join us for the course, so we can show them. They can show a practice or they can practice a match, and the referees are measuring, they're refereeing, they're trying all the process of the match. So they have plenty of time to practice. Usually there is, even though it's good to have the course for 2 days, sometimes it's not enough time to tell them everything. So for example, at the course we held last month, we didn't have enough time for the practical part because there were 18 people. So for everybody to try everything on court, which is very important, to try measuring, to try the signals of referees, So we asked them to come for the practice that's going to happen this weekend, and we are going to practice. So there is part of the referees that didn't have enough time to practice at the course. We are going to practice at a practice of players. So they are going to have much more time, and they are going to meet players. They can talk. They can have fun time, which makes it very nice. So again, there was a situation, we found a solution for that. During the courses, we use some tools. For online courses, we usually use Google Meet or Microsoft Teams, whichever. Doesn't really make a difference for us. We will use a lot of YouTube videos, but not only YouTube videos, we also have a lot of footage from the players from Slovakia that usually tape their games at international level. So we ask them to give us some footage, and we usually find the parts that are interesting for us from the referee point of view. We use the beginning of matches or ending of the matches, different ends, penalties, and different situations on courts that can happen. We show the referees that this is what the matches look like, and this is how you should react on those situations. And also we use Google Forms for example, for the tests during the online courses. We use Google Forms. For offline, we obviously use normal tests. And also Google Forms are used for feedback, because it's very important for us to get feedback on those courses, so we can make them better for the next time. You can, next slide, thank you. So how to maintain the referees is also very important, because now you found referees, you also educated them, but you have to maintain them, you have to make them stay. Next slide. It's very important for the referees to like the sport and like the community they're in. It's very important to build relationships, not only with them, but also between referees themselves. They need to feel like part of a community, which makes them more interested in the sport and also if they feel like part of the community, they enjoy the process more than just being a single referee going to a competition without anything else on the plate. In Slovakia, for example, we have a Facebook group, and I would really love it to be more responsive and people interacting more, but it's not. So this is something we need to also deal with. But we have a Facebook group where I used to share some information about the rules, if there were any changes in the rules. We had some discussions there about the rules, etc., etc. So it's very fun to talk to the referees also throughout the year, not only during the courses, which makes them to stay and stick to the sport. Also, it's nice to have some events for the referees. For example, re-education. We are going to have a new course for the referees we already have. It's a re-education course. It's going to be in 2 weeks. And this is also very important in the education process of referees, not only to go through the referee course, but also to have other courses throughout the years and throughout their career. Because so they know they're up to date with the rules, then they can ask questions. For example, we are going to go through not the rules itself, but themselves, but we are going to go through the referee manual. So it's going to be a discussion session. Actually, this one is going to be held online, which makes it easier for all the referees we have to join. So there is going to be an online re-education for the referees, and it's fun to have events like these for them. And also, and this is very nice, to have opportunities for the referees to join in different countries, for example. You have countries that are friendly with you. For example, in Slovakia, we have Czech Republic very close to us, and we have some work together. So we send our referees to Czech Republic, and Czech Republic sends referees to Slovakia. We had some competitions like this, and it's very good for the referees and also for the players as well to have referees that are from different countries. Both of them learn and have new experiences on courts. So this is something how to maintain referees. The next step, if now you have referees, and this is also a part of the maintenance of maintaining the referees. It's also how to grow, and I mean internationally. For most of the referees, they want to grow and they want to become an international referee, which is next step, obviously. World Boccia, as our federation, they have some criteria that national referees need to fulfill to become an international referee. So for the national referees, the first thing is that they need to have a minimum of 2 years of knowledge of being a referee, of being a national referee, which means they need to have at least 45 matches as a referee. There is a document called a logbook. You can look for it also at the World Boccia website. This document is for the referees. They bring it to a competition where the referee and the head referee of the competitions signs the sheet, also writes down the name of the competition, the date of the competition, and also the number of games the referee refereed. And this is some kind of a proof for the referee if they want to go on an international course. So it's very important for the referees and also for you as a country to have logbooks for all your referees. The next step is that they need to referee at least 2 years before the course, the date of the course. And also they need to be able to speak English, and or they need to have good knowledge of English in spoken and also in written English. And also it's very important for them to be able to make a measurement. There is also a rule that says, or I don't know if it's a rule or adjustment, that if a referee is not able to make a measurement, it's also possible for the referee to become an international referee, but he needs to be able to brief another official to make the measurement or stop the ball or whatsoever. They need to show the proof that they are able to do so. So those are a few criteria for the international course. In case you are interested in more about the international course, feel free to ask me, message me. I'll be more than happy to share my knowledge about the courses with you. Next slide, please. If you have any questions now, there's also one more thing I want to just tell you. While you have any questions, feel free to ask them, but there's also one bonus thing that we are just trying out, and it's e-learning for the referees, because we had the course, the previous course we had too many referees there. We didn't have much time for them to ask questions or to try on court, as I told you. So we are thinking of creating an e-learning platform for the referees where there will be videos and also tests for each chapter of the rules. And we will share this e-learning course with the people who are going to be at the course, the course, we're going to share it with them. And if they they will have to study the entire e-learning program. And after that, they can undergo a course, which will be more practical and more about questions and discussions than about the rules or teaching rules itself. So this is some kind of bonus for the future we are trying out. And if any of the countries already have this kind of e-learning programs, please feel free to share them with me, or I'll be very happy to share them with you in the future. So if you have any questions now, or we can stay in touch. This is my email address. Feel free to print screen or write it down, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about the rules, about referees, about boccia in general.
So hello everyone. Today I will try to speak about boccia history, some trends that I believe are at the moment, and the future of boccia the way I see it. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Greg or Grigoris Polychronidis. I have finished accounting and finance, and I started boccia in 2002 with a dream to compete at the Athens 2004 Paralympic Games, a dream that came true. And after that, I am involved very much with boccia and had the chance to compete in 5 Paralympic Games and win 6 Paralympic medals. And I had the honor to be the Greece flag bearer in Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. And of course, during all these years, I have been world and 4 times European champion, as well as 20 years a national champion. Besides my career as a sportsman, I'm also the president of the Greek Paralympic Winners Association, and I'm also a member of the IPC Athletes Council, World Boccia Athletes Committee, and World Boccia Competition and Rules Committee. So we will start speaking about the history of boccia. I have gathered some milestones, and mostly I will speak for Paralympic Games because it is very difficult to find information for the World or European and regional championships because it needs a lot of time, and you have to. Well, boccia is not that famous, so you can find everything on the internet, so it's very difficult to gather information. But I believe that the information about the Paralympic Games give us a very good view of how boccia started and evolved during the years. So the first Paralympics were in 1984, where the first cerebral palsy only sports were added to the program with CP football and boccia. So that was the first Paralympics for boccia. And at that time, it had 5 events. It was only cerebral palsy athletes, and it was divided in C1, which is currently BC1, and it had male and women, and C2, which is currently BC2, again, male and women, and a mixed team with C1 and C2. So this was the first Paralympics, and it had men and women divided, something that will only be again in Paris this year. Because after that, after the 1984 Paralympics, the categories were mixed. So at 1988, we have 3 events because of the merge of men and women into mixed. And as I said before, it was it lasted until Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. So now in Paris, we will have men and women again separated. Another milestone is during 1996 Paralympic Games in Atlanta, where we had the addition of individual C1 with assistive device, as it was called at that time, which is the BC3 category, as we call it now. So it was only introduced in 1996 Paralympics. Next, we have the 2000 Summer Paralympics, where we had the rename of the categories into the names as they are at the moment. So C1 became BC1, C2 became BC2, and individual CN with assistive device thankfully became BC3, so it's much easier to call it now. Next milestone, it didn't start with the Paralympics. It started in 2001 in order to prepare and to qualify for the Paralympics, was the addition of individual and pairs BC4. So we have the BC4 category. It's the first time that we have a category for non-CP players, and it is a great change. Also, the balls changed. They became a little bit bigger. I couldn't find the specification of the balls as they were before that, but I remember because I had the old balls, they were smaller. So this is also a change that lasts until now. Next, we have 2004 Summer Paralympics in Athens, my first Paralympics that were held in the city that I live. And as I said, not only the balls were changed, but it was the first Paralympics that athletes could use their own balls to compete. Because before that, athletes competed only with the balls that were given from the competition. So they played with the competition balls, but this was the first Paralympics that athletes could play with their own balls. Next milestone is, and this is somewhere where I have a personal experience. It was 2008 Summer Paralympics, and it was the first time that a non-CP player was allowed to play in pairs BC3. Before that, the rules said that you can have 3 players, 2 that are playing and a substitution, and 2 of them must be cerebral palsy. So in any competition, you could have 2 CPs and another athlete that could be anything. But the rule and the qualification guide for the Paralympics did not include a substitution. So there were only 2 athletes. And when you combined the 2 rules, the qualification guide and the boccia rules, because of the rule that you should have 2 CP players in your pairs, and while in the Paralympics you only were allowed to take 2 CP players, you could not take any other disability into the Paralympic Games. And if Greece had qualified for Athens 2004 Paralympics, I would not be able to compete. But since I competed only in individuals, this is how I competed. Now, I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe because of this situation, CP ISRA, which was the governing body at that time, they made a change in the rules. And the change was from having 2 CPs during competition. It was changed to have at least 1 CP competing at the game. So you could have 3 or 2 players, but it was obligatory, the one of the 2 competing to be a CP. And that lasted for many years until it was changed because of the IPC classification rules, where you should not have, you should not define the classification because of the disability, but because of the abilities of the player. It was changed, and now we do not have this separation between CPs and non-CPs. So that was some changes that happened during these years. Now, next milestone is 2012 Summer Paralympics in London, where it was the first time, well, maybe not the first time, I cannot say this for sure, but after Beijing, it was given slots for athletes that did not compete in teams and pair, but could compete in individuals only. Again, before, this is also a personal experience, before 2008 Paralympics in Beijing, the last qualification competition in 2007 in Vancouver, after the end of individuals, I was first in the world ranking list, but my pairs were, I believe, 14th or something like that. It was not qualifying to Beijing. And there were not any slots available for individuals only. So again, it was a situation that an athlete that is first in the world ranking list maybe would not go to the Paralympics. Of course, we managed at that time, at the last competition, to make a good appearance, and Greece managed to finish 6th in the world ranking list and qualify, but it was only because of the last competition. So if something went wrong, we would have a situation that first place ranking place in rankings would not qualify for Paralympics. So I believe this was one maybe of the needs to make this change and to give some slots to individuals only as well, in order to have all top players competing at the Paralympics. Our next milestone is 2016 in Summer Paralympics in Rio de Janeiro, where it was the first Paralympics that boccia was under BISFET, the Boccia International Sports Federation, or World Boccia, as we call it now, as a governing body, because before that it was CP-ISRA, but now Boccia had its own federation, which was very positive for Boccia because it could lead to much more stronger development. And the next milestone, we have the 2020 Summer Paralympics, where it was the first Paralympics that we didn't have the BC3 limitations, such as pointer length and wheelchair height. Of course, the change was did not start in the Paralympics, again, as in everything else that I mentioned. It started after the 2016 Paralympics, in 2017. And we could say that all this development was made because of the BISFET committees, because BISFET introduced many committees, such as rules committee, competition committee, classification committees, and referee committees, and I don't know, I'm probably forgetting some committees, but these committees had people with a lot of experience and a lot of will to help and to provide information and start building boccia to become even greater. So we had, I was a member in the rules committee, so there were a lot of changes. One also great change was the change of penalties, because the penalty now is a throw that must stop in the box at the cross. Before that, the penalty was totally different. You just had 2 balls extra at the end of the end. So it was totally different, and it was something that changed. But I will keep that we had the BC3 limitations removed, which helped a lot for many athletes that did not have the movement or the height to make the throws and be able to compete equally with other BC3s. These changes made it possible for them to compete equally. And I believe, in my own personal opinion, that it really made a difference. So now I would like to move forward with some trends that this is all on my personal opinion. Of course, some are very general, but I will speak about my opinion at this moment. So I believe that one of the boccia trends is to make boccia known worldwide. And this can be by organizing competitions all over the world, because it's very important to show to the people and to attract people in every city that the competition is held. So this having a competition, it's a great opportunity to show boccia and how it's played. And I can say, for example, that in Heraklion last October, during the Challenger, there were a lot of schools coming to see the competition, and so all these children from that moment, they know about boccia, they know how it's played, so they learned something that they didn't know before, and this is very important. Next, I would say that the promotion of boccia through social media campaigns is also very important, because today social media is something that is a connection point for everyone. It is the strongest tool, I could say, that we can promote whatever we want to promote, and it's the opportunity to make something that is not well known, to make it known to the people. Of course, this needs a lot of work, and you have to have the correct product, I would say, so you can make it attractive. And boccia, of course, is something that it is attractive. So what it needs, it just needs the promotion so that people can learn about it. And of course, this leads to the next, which is to raise the publicity of top-level boccia players. And this is because, as in any sport, when you have the top players, they're like the role models. Like, for example, it's Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi in football. Everyone knows about them, everyone follows them. So it is, I know it's not the same, because I'm comparing two different sizes, that of football and boccia. The one is huge, the other is very small. But as a model, you have to have some role models to attract people, and especially children and children with disabilities, in order to start playing boccia or start watching boccia. So you need to have the role models that people will follow and want to see how they progress, what are their results, what do they do, how they train, what is their life about, and all this will help to make boccia more attractive. Next is to attract and accept more countries as World Boccia members. And this definitely will help to make boccia known at the country that it is developed. So here I believe the most important thing is to target on the national Paralympic committees to start developing boccia in their countries, and hopefully after that federation for only boccia or for sports for the disabled be founded in order to be a member of World Boccia or BISFET and start competing, because everything starts from something. So if you don't have the governing body in your country, it's very difficult to develop the sport. So first of all, you have to have the governing body, then you will have to have the clubs, and then the athletes can come to the clubs and start training, and after that competing. So this is also very important. Next, totally different, It's organize or do some challenges in the social media. This is more close to the social media because you can never know, something may become popular. As it was I don't know if you remember the bucket challenge, which became very popular. And if we manage to do something that might become very popular for Boccia, it will have a tremendous effect on making Boccia known better to the people. And next, of course, talking about people, schools are one of the, I believe I could say, the easiest parts of the society that we can affect with Boccia. It is very important, first of all, to introduce Boccia to the children, not only to learn about Boccia as a sport, but even more important is to learn that Boccia is played by people with very severe disabilities. So this is a great example that human powers are unlimited. So if you want something, you can do everything. So it's very important for the children to watch that there is Boccia, that it's played by these people, and that this is a sport that children with no disability at all can also play. And this is very interesting. And every time that I visit schools, I take a set of balls with me. Definitely not my balls for schools that I have. And after some time talking with the children, I start playing with them, and every time it's fantastic. The kids love it. They play it, and at the end of the hour, they don't want to let me go because they have to stop playing. So this is very. I'm very happy for this, and after seeing that it's so popular for children, Boccia, I have created some schools competition in Greece, and I saw that it had great results because schools were very interested in coming and competing, and it was also very good to give them balls so they can have tournaments inside the school, every school, and then after they have the champion of every school, we gather one day and we play the tournament to have the champion of that schools that are competing. So it's very interesting. The kids love it, and what we gain from this, we gain that Boccia becomes more popular, and the children not only learn about Boccia, but they learn about disability as well. So this is very important. Now, next is to make Boccia more attractive in order to gain publicity. So here we have something that as a competition the rules committee, we are working on this, is to make Boccia faster. So that means remove or reduce all unnecessary procedures. One procedure that I can say is that we are checking the ramps if they're touching the floor just before the game while we are on the field of play. So this can be removed because it's not necessary to be tested at that time. So this kind of changes can help Boccia, making Boccia faster. Next, it's to make known to people how Boccia is played. this is also something that I've seen mostly from the countries that are planning a big boccia competition like the Paralympics or like World Championships, that there are videos, short videos that are being made that say how boccia is played, because there's a problem that boccia is not well known. So even though it's not difficult to know how boccia is played, people don't know it. So someone has to explain. So we have these short videos, which is very interesting and very useful in order to make boccia to make people understand how boccia is played and to make them follow boccia. Next, it's to raise publicity before an international competition, which is also very important. And definitely it needs a lot of work, because unfortunately, at the moment where we have a boccia competition, we don't have people, we don't have spectators. So this is something that we must change. These changes can be after advertising the competition, or as in Heraklion, bringing schools to watch the games, or as in Rotterdam, we had the finals in the city center. So we could attract people that were just walking by, and they could see boccia and come and watch, or whatever the host organizing committee can think about in order to attract people to watch the games. And of course, another thing is to organize competitions with awards for the players. And this is mostly to attract participants, not spectators, but to attract participants maybe for a competition that is not one of the major competitions. So you just want to have a competition in order to raise publicity in your city, for example. So you need competitors. So maybe at that situation, you will have to have some awards in order to attract top elite players and have a great competition. Now, next, this I will only read. It comes from BISFET, which is the corporate objectives. So World Boccia has been established with 5 main objectives. And the first one is to promote, enhance, and support boccia as a sport for all people and to help promote its activities. Next is to govern the sport of boccia internationally through, inter alia, a set of rules, a classification system, and an international competition structure. Next is to promote boccia amongst those who make decisions that directly affect the sport. Next is to promote and represent the interest of the members of the federation and on their behalf to undertake lobbying and similar activities. And the last one is to create a network of members and individuals which encourages contact and exchange of ideas and experience regarding the sport of boccia. And we also have the vision of World Boccia. So boccia, the sport for everyone. Our vision is to proactively facilitate appropriate opportunities for elite level competition, preserving the current Paralympic pathway for athletes with high support needs, whilst also supporting growth, development, and a greater awareness of boccia by being inclusive, progressive, and accessible to all. And here I would like to say again from my personal experience that boccia is absolutely the sport to show the inclusiveness of the disability, because you can see that a person with a very severe disability, like myself, I cannot move my arms or legs, can play equally or even better with a person that has absolutely no issues with his movement and he is strong or whatever. So it's very important to have this inclusion example. And last, I would say, again, from my own point of view, as I see the Boccia future, I believe that in a very short time, we will have more than 100 countries as official members of World Boccia. I believe there are about 80 at the moment. I'm sure it will remain the fastest growing Paralympic sport because it is a sport that it's not that old, so it's a new sport. It's a Paralympic only sport, so there's a lot of room for developing. So I'm sure it will remain growing very fast. I also believe the addition of the BC3 category will come shortly because it is a category that it's needed. We have a lot of athletes that were in the BC4 and or even in these shoes that are stronger than the actual BC2 or BC4. So there must be a category for them, and it is already it already exists in many countries. So I believe it will become formal in BISFET as well. And my dream is that Boccia will become an Olympic sport as well as Paralympic sometime in the future, because I believe it deserves to be Olympic sport as well, and it has everything that is needed to become an Olympic sport. So maybe one day we will see it as well. So thank you very much for watching and for listening to me, and I'm here for any questions that you might have.